Major earthquake that hit Osaka, Japan, and left at least 3 people dead, and at least 200 people are injured. At least 2 elderly men and a little girl are dead from the major earthquake. It hit a suburb in between the major cities of Osaka and Kyoto Monday morning. Television images showed buildings and cars swaying and burst pipes spewing water after the earthquake, which struck at the height of rush hour in the city of around 2 million people. However, there was no large-scale destruction and no tsunami warning issued after the earthquake, although commuters were stranded and tens of thousands were left without power. A number of train services were suspended, including the Shinkansen bullet train, as multiple smaller aftershocks followed the quake. Among the casualties was a 9-year-old girl who died in the city of Takatsuki, north of Osaka, reportedly trapped by a collapsed wall following the earthquake. Local media said the other 2 dead were an 80-year-old man killed by a collapsing wall and a man trapped under a bookcase in his home. The Fire and Disaster Management Agency said more than 200 people were injured. Japan sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, where many of the world's earthquakes and volcanic eruptions are recorded. On March 11, to recall 2011, a devastating magnitude 9 quake struck under the Pacific Ocean, and the resulting tsunami caused widespread damage and claimed thousands of lives. It also sent 3 reactors into meltdown at the Fukushima nuclear plant, causing Japan's worst post-war disaster and the most serious nuclear accident since Chernobyl in 1986. The Nuclear Regulation Authority said it had detected no problems at its local atomic power plants. But some companies, including Honda, said they had suspended operations at local plants. Meanwhile, authorities say another similar-sized quake could hit the area in the next few days. Agency officials also issued this warning.
In the regions with strong tremors, please be careful about the collapsed furniture and mudslide. People are advised to pay attention to the situation after this, and please be careful not to get near to the dangerous places. In the past, the earthquake of a similar scale has occurred with a 10 or 20% chances. And in the region with strong tremors, in the following 1 week, the people are advised to be careful about possibility of 6- earthquake, because the earthquake of the similar scale can happen after the serious earthquake.
Meanwhile, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe updated the reporters on the situation. Take a listen.
Our basic policy is the people's lives first. So the entire government, in coordination in responding to this situation, our first priority is to grasp the damage and do everything we can in order to save lives and to provide relief to the affected people, as well as providing necessary information with the people of Japan.
A 6.1 magnitude earthquake greeted Osaka and its neighboring prefectures in West Japan early morning on Monday, bringing chaos in the areas with 3 dead and several others injured. According to data released by the Japan Meteorological Agency, the strong earthquake that happened at 7:58 Japan Standard Time occurred at a depth of around 13 kilometers in the northern part of Osaka Prefecture. It registered a lower 6 out of 7 on the Japanese seismic intensity scale. This scale would bring any unsecured furniture to move or fall down, while people would find it hard to remain steady on such a strong movement, the agency said, adding that a shallow epicenter had caused high-intensity tremors despite the earthquake's relatively small magnitude. According to police, a man in his 80s and a 9-year-old girl were reported dead after a wall fell over them. Another 80-year-old man also died in the suburbs of Osaka. Disaster Management Minister Hachiro Okonogi said several people were buried under a collapsed building. Authorities are still working to confirm any casualty. Several train delays and cancellations, traffic disruptions, injuries, and fire casualties have also been reported in the cities of Osaka, Kyoto, Mie, and Hyogo prefectures. Commuters in the morning rush hour were left stranded on the streets and in stations as the incident disrupted Shinkansen operations and also other railways in central and western Japan, canceling over 60 bullet trains at 11 a.m. Eagle News have talked to several residents in Osaka. One worker was on her way to work when the ground started shaking and she had difficulty steadying herself up. Another one had to climb up 30 floors in her office building because all the elevators have stopped. Several establishments, offices, and old houses, even household items, were also damaged. The agency said that the most recent quake is the strongest one felt in western Japan since 1923 when they started the official records. Reporting from Osaka, Japan, this is Luis Stefano Melda for Eagle News International, and I am 1 with 25.